Hello, Leo. Thanks for joining me. So, just like everybody else, you watched this. It wasn't expected. It was a bit of a shock to the system to get one of these edicts from on high, straight from 10 Downing Street to us. What do you make of what he said?
Well, I mean, I sat and listened to the speech. It was very confused. I mean, lots of it was talking about things which the government had. He's saying he scrapped things that there was no plan for. There was no proposal for people to have 7 different bins. So a lot of it was sort of, random, meaningless nonsense, but some of it was very significant. So this pushing back of the target for when will we stop being able to buy new fossil-fueled cars and vans, getting rid of that target, that's the most significant thing. So Rishi Sunak says, I'm still committed to net zero in 2050. But what viewers need to understand is that target is not achievable now. If we do not, basically that date, 2030, is the last possible day that experts say we can be adding new fossil fuel cars and vans to our streets and still expect to meet the target. So that's why that date was set. And what business is saying, I mean, fascinatingly, the business lobby is absolutely up in arms. The chief executive of Ford is furious about this because the automakers have invested enormous sums of money in preparing to meet that target in 2030. And a lot of analysis shows that by setting a 2030 date and providing leadership, we were attracting a lot of inward investment, tens of billions of pounds into the UK economy. And that will just evaporate now because we've placed ourselves at the back of the pack.
I mean, is it possible, Leo, that this is an own goal of the most seismic proportions and that Rishi Sunak will have succeeded with one speech of alienating pretty much everybody, his own backbenchers, those people who are worried and concerned about climate change and the future of the planet, and big business, the big car manufacturers, who, surprisingly, as you say, with one voice pretty much, and we've just heard from the makers of Car, KA, and they're pretty much outraged. They've added their voice to Ford, who have said, we've spent, what did they say, how many billions on this? £500 million or something. So it's most unusual, isn't it, to have big business clamouring in fury at an announcement of something that is going to go against or delay net zero targets. It's absolutely the opposite of what anybody ever would have expected. Could he have annoyed everybody at once?
It's really hard to understand who is supposed to be pleased about this, because I don't always find myself on the same side of the debate as the Confederation of British Industry or the Society of Motor Manufacturers and traders, but actually, like I say, we're all speaking with one voice. This is unbelievably counterproductive. It's self-sabotage. We were leading the world. Setting net zero as a target in 2050, we were the first country to do it. 100+ countries have emulated us, right? It made a huge difference on the global stage, and the UK got a lot of respect for that, but also we have been seeing economic benefits start to accrue. This whole line, I think, is really important to understand. This stuff about how, I'm not prepared to put these costs on consumers. This stuff was going to save us money. I mean, Rishi Sunak has announced in that speech scrapping regulations for landlords, which would have required them to make sure that the homes they're renting out to people are properly insulated so you can stay warm in winter.